Anti-Putin politician facing Kremlin raid uses drone to fly hard drives away before government officers can get them.
Here's a summary of the article.
An opposition politician in Russia evaded a police raid by loading hard drives onto a drone and spiriting them away before officers could enter his apartment. Navalny, a thorn in the side of President Vladimir Putin and the Kremlin, urged his supporters to vote tactically in the Moscow elections and back any non-government-related candidates, including members of the Communist Party. Boyko, a Navalny associate, came second in the country's third-largest city with nearly 20% of the vote in the mayoral election. Footage shows him holding a device that controls a drone hovering at his window outside his apartment. Separate footage later shared on his YouTube channel shows officers outside the building leading him away and putting him into an unmarked white van. The raids across the country are linked to money laundering charges Navalny faces, charges he says are politically motivated. In an online video, Navalny described the raids as the largest ever carried out by law enforcement officials.
This post received a score of 53,834, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I voted for this guy in mayor elections, shame he didn't win.
Is that allowed?
KGB would like to know your location.
Knock knock.
Ding dong.
NBC took it down. Them motherfuckers.
For America.
I can't understand the last bit. The KGB will work alone? What?
KGB will wait for no one.
This is the most cyberpunk thing I've heard in a long time. Not the most efficient solution, but totally awesome. It actually is the most efficient system. The transfer speeds of flying a few TB of data securely like this couldn't be beat in any way compared to any other system.
Never underestimate the bandwidth of a station wagon full of tapes hurtling down the highway. It's so much faster. Amazon made it an actual AWS service, Snowmobile.
I'm upset that it's not transported on an actual snowmobile.
That's only for the Premier customers.
Prime customers.
That's for poor people acting rich. The wealthy get Amazon Premier so they stay separated from the filthy peasants.
He's going to get killed, isn't he?
Some suspect he might be a Kremlin plant because the regime definitely has the means to do so. Nemtsov was killed 100 meters away from Kremlin and all the cameras observing that spot were mysteriously broken, according to the official story.
Then he is a dedicated plant. Always getting a rest and asphalted. Even losing sight in one eye after being attacked by pro-Putin goons. Russia is full of controlled opposition, but I don't think he's one of them.
I know he's lived through the intense crackdown on any opposition that posed an actual threat to the forming apparatus, so he might be simply afraid to call to any action that could be perceived as drastic. Others think that he survived by striking a deal with the government to attempt spearheading opposition and leading it to simply walking outside in groups every now and then, while picking conflicts with smaller opposition leaders, or otherwise preventing an opposition coalition. If Putin deemed Navalny to be doing this job very well, he could pay him out the nose to keep doing it, and even book him a top-of-the-notch doctor to save him from permanent eye damage. None of these are my views, by the way, I'm just hypothesizing and outlining the views of Russians.
Greater than top of the notch.
Looked it up, should have been top-notch. English isn't my first language, as you can tell.
I honestly enjoyed it. It's sort of a combination of top-of-the-line and top-notch, so it could be argued that it describes something being even better than either of those would describe on their own. I do apologize if it felt like I was teasing you or being overly analytical of your English though. Your use of the language is honestly way better than plenty of people I know whose first language is English. I'm impressed. I love the concept of language, but although I would love to be able to speak, write in another language, I only know English, so you're more knowledgeable than I am, no matter how much you know or don't know.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.